Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Week 6 edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm your boy, Christian Stoynev, and today we're going to preview Week 6. But before we get going to the weekend games, we got to look back real quick at the Thursday night football game. It was the Eagles. It was the Buccaneers. Sorry, I'm coming to you guys a day late, to be honest. Just been super busy getting prepared for halftime shows coming up. We start off next week super busy, and actually, usually I do these on Tuesdays and Fridays. Next week, I'll probably do one on Monday and preview NBA stuff. But then after that, it might be sporadic. I'm going to do my best to keep on a consistent kind of schedule. But like next Friday, I'll be in Denver performing for the Nuggets. So I will try to pump these out as often as I can. But no promises. I will do my best. But all right, let's talk Eagles, Buccaneers, Tom Brady. I wouldn't say a bounce back game because this dude threw 5 touchdown passes against the Dolphins the week before. So he was coming in hot, and the Bucs were coming in hot. They controlled this game from start to finish. Really, there's not much to look at there. The Eagles are just not at the Buccaneers level. The Bucs are sitting pretty, looking good. Brady's, honestly, the conversation needs to be had because he might be playing the best football of his entire career, which is just honestly a testament to his work ethic and his trainers and everything that he does and all the sacrifices that he makes and eating avocado milkshakes and all that nasty stuff. And, he's maintained his performance and kind of elevated it even. The Buccaneers are looking good. Richard Sherman is injured. That's one thing to look out there. They just brought him in, but they do need secondary help. The Eagles really couldn't get much going, but kind of made it a little bit interesting there towards the end. But the Bucs had this game the whole way. They really controlled the clock. And one thing I will say, when it comes to coaching, me being a Vikings fan, we are critiquing conservative coaching quite a bit these days because the Vikings with Mike Zimmer are pretty conservative. They don't attack often. They don't go hard. They kind of just play almost to not lose the game rather than play to win the game. But I did see a couple things in this game that I wanted to talk about. The first, was Philly. They're down 14. They get a touchdown, and of course, they go for 2. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Obviously, sure, you want to, there's just no point in going for 2. I don't get it. Like, why are you being aggressive in that situation? Sure, if you don't get it, you could still tie it with it's a 1 possession game still, being 8 points down. But to me, it just seems like there's no point with that. And actually, right before that, the Buccaneers were up 14 and they were near midfield, and it's a 4th and 2, and Bruce Arians goes for it. And, that's aggressive football, and there was actually not even a run. It was Brady throwing it, and he overthrew his receiver, and that's what gave Philly life to then drive down the field. So when the Bucs do that aggressive call, first of all, I'm wondering, why are you doing this? Why not punt it? You pin Philly in their own territory. At this point, there's 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So they'll milk more clock in their drive if they're going to have a drive all the way to your end zone. So I didn't understand the call by the Buccaneers there being aggressive when really your defense had done a pretty good job against the Eagles offense. You try to pin them inside their 20, and they're going to have to drive 80-plus yards to get a touchdown. So I don't know why you do that, where if you don't get it, which is what happened, now you give Philly some life. They're at midfield. A couple plays later, they could be, 1 touchdown away from tying the game after that. So I didn't understand it. They didn't get it. It did backfire because then Philly did exactly that. They got some momentum. They went down the field. They got a touchdown. And now they were putting themselves in position to kick the extra point to just be down by a touchdown. But they went for 2, and they got it. So gambling-wise, that sucks for whoever had Tampa -7. Might have been me also. But at the same time, that just didn't make any sense to me. You kick the extra point. You're down 1 touchdown. And then if you do score a touchdown later and you're feeling frisky and you want to go for 2 for the win and put the pressure on the Tampa defense, sure. But it seemed really unnecessary to me. And, like I said, as a Viking fan, we've been critiquing conservative play calling, but the grass ain't always greener on the other side. And I think this was a perfect example because if that was my team, and on either side, on the Tampa Bay side, I would have been annoyed at us being so aggressive. There was no point in being aggressive there. It almost could have cost us the game. And then on the Philly side, if you don't get the 2-point conversion, now you're down a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So it would have been just unnecessary. So again, that's my recap from the Thursday game. Let's dive into this weekend. Week 6 begins in London. We have another London game. Last week it was the Falcons. It was the Jets. I picked the Falcons and I won that bet. We did pretty good last week, 10-5. So week 6, Miami at Jacksonville. I think I picked Jacksonville last week. I'm going to look real quick because I don't know what's going on lately. I have too much trust in the Jags. I don't know why I do that. I did pick them. I picked them to beat the Titans. I don't know why I did that. But I'm going to make that maybe mistake again because I just feel like they got to get a win at some point. And when you're such a bad team and you see a team like Miami on the other side and you think to yourself, this might be our only chance to get this dub. And they're in London. So Miami, who knows who gets hit by the jet lag the most. I'm just rolling the dice here. I'm going to take Jacksonville to win. And to be honest, Miami's got Tua coming back. And I think they're a worse team with Tua than they are with Jacoby Brissett as their starter. When he was in there, they weren't great. And then when Jacoby Brissett came in, at least that offense had more life. So I'm taking the Jags. All right, Texans at Colts. Colts are favored by 10. I'm going to take the Colts to win, and I'm going to take the points. I just think that, they're in super desperation mode. They're 1-4. They should have won last week in Baltimore, but took their foot off the gas, and Baltimore, Lamar Jackson came back and beat them in overtime. So I think the Colts bounce back big this week. Packers at the Bears. Taking the Packers. I just think they're the better team. Not going to overthink this. And Justin Fields is going to go up against a pretty good defense. Everyone loves to talk about Aaron Rodgers, but the Packers defense, to me, has been the most impressive part of that football team. They played a lot better. And when they haven't really, like last week against Cincinnati, they had a lot of injuries. So I just think that the Packers will win. And that line is Bears +6. And I just think this could be a game where Justin Fields plays, a pretty good football team with a good coaching staff that I think will scheme it up to really confuse them and put pressure on them. And I think he might be struggling in this ball game. But it's part of the growing pains for the Bears. I think that'll happen with a rookie quarterback with promise like Justin Fields. So give me the Packers, and I'm taking the Packers -6. And that line is moving that way. Chiefs at Washington. Kansas City did this earlier in the year, and I think they're going to do it again. When they drop a game that, makes everyone start to wonder if they're for real, they bounce back like they did in Philadelphia last time, and they destroyed the Eagles. And I think this happens again. They play another NFC East team in Washington. So I think, and also Washington's, they just have not had fans in that stadium. I think this might feel like a home game for the Chiefs in a way. And, they want to send a message and remind everyone that they're still the Chiefs and Mahomes is still an MVP candidate. So I think the Chiefs will win. The line is -6.5. Give me the Chiefs to win by more than 6.5 for sure. All right, the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. This line started off with the Panthers favored by 1. It slid to the Vikings favored by 1. And then now with the news coming out that Christian McCaffrey will be out for the next 3 weeks at least. So that puts him out for this game tomorrow. The line has now moved all the way to Vikings -2.5. And, I was going to take the Vikes to win it, but I wasn't going to take them to win by the points. But being that it's 2.5, I circled Panthers +2.5, but I'm going to switch that. I think the Vikings win by a field goal, at least, hopefully. Oh, my God. All right, so Vikings. Give me the Vikings to win, and the Vikings to win by at least 2.5. All right, Chargers at the Ravens. Chargers are coming off an impressive game against the Cleveland Browns. It was a shootout. They take on the Ravens in Baltimore. Remember, Lamar went off last week. His passing was fantastic. And I think the Chargers are going to have their work cut out for them. But it's one of those games where it happened earlier when the Rams played the Bucs, and I said the Rams have something to prove. The Bucs not so much. The following week, it happened when the Cardinals played the Rams, and I said, now the Rams don't have much to prove because they just beat the Bucs, but the Cardinals have something to prove. So it's a prove-it game, and I picked the Cardinals, and the Cardinals won. This, I feel the same about. The Chargers are about to go into Baltimore and beat the Ravens. It's a prove-it game for them. The Ravens are feeling good. No one is doubting the Ravens, but people are still borderline unsure about the Chargers, and I think this win convinces people that they are for real. Bengals at Lions. Hey, Detroit, you're winning this game. I finally think that they're going to come through and get a win. I'm picking both 0-5 teams this week, the Jaguars and the Lions. I think the Lions will win. They'll cover the 3.5. They play the Bengals at home. I think they've been so close. I think when the coach puts his heart out in the line for the team like that, it makes you want to play harder. And, it just really gives you everything. The Bengals are coming off a weird game against the Packers. They missed so many field goals. Burrow threw a horrible interception in overtime. Yeah, I don't know. And he's banged up. He's got some throat injury. So, I'm taking the Lions. Let's go. Upset. All right, Rams, Giants. Taking the Rams. They're favored by 8. I think they'll win by more than 8. Not much to say there. They're just way better. And the Giants are super banged up. Cardinals at Browns. I was going to lean towards Arizona, but Cliff Kingsbury is not coaching because of COVID, which I didn't used to think would be that big of a deal. I'm like, it's a head coach. A lot of these defensive coordinators call the plays anyway. But I've noticed that when the head coaches have been out, it has affected the teams. Plus, they got some injuries. Chandler Jones is also, I think, tested positive for COVID, so I think he's out. So I'm going to take Cleveland, and I'm going to take Cleveland to cover the spread. Cleveland by 3.5. Give me the Browns. Raiders at Broncos. The Broncos are favored by 4. However, I'm taking the Raiders. They've been sliding lately. Last week, they had so many distractions going on. I think this week, they get back to business. The Broncos have been struggling a little bit as of late. They lost to Pittsburgh last week. And really, I think this is, one for all the marbles. Whoever wins this game stays alive. Whoever loses this game, I think, is out of the playoff picture for good. So, and there's starting to be some pressure on the Broncos. If they lose 3 in a row, Vic Fangio, the head coach, might be on the hot seat. So, give me the Raiders. I think they can upset the Broncos on the road. Cowboys at Pats. I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. The Cowboys are for real. So give me the Cowboys to win this game. And I think they'll win by that spread. They'll win by more than 3.5. Not going to overthink this one. Look, the last time that the Pats played a superior opponent in the Buccaneers, yes, it was close. Yes, they could have won that game. But also there was so much emotion in that game. Brady didn't play that great. And I think that's just an outlier. Bill Belichick's been planning this since the day Brady left. So I don't think the same kind of focus and emotion will be put into this game because it's just the Cowboys. There's no Brady involved. So I think don't overthink it. The better team is Dallas, and I think they'll take care of business. All right, Seahawks at Steelers. Now it starts getting a little bit dicey. The Seahawks are without Russell Wilson, so Geno Smith gets the start. He came in and played great last week when Wilson came out. However, I'm not overthinking this either. Yes, he came in and he played great. That's because no one was scheming for Geno Smith. So this week with the Steelers knowing it's Geno Smith and with the Steelers having a solid defense, Ben Roethlisberger played a little bit better last week, and it was against the Broncos, who aren't a horrible defense. They're pretty solid. The line is kind of high for my liking, but I'm going to back it. I think the Steelers will win, and I think they'll win by more than 5 points, maybe like a 6-point game. So give me the Steelers to win that game. And finally, Monday Night Football, which if I do an episode Monday, I'll preview it a little bit better. But real quick, it's Bills at Titans. I'm taking the Bills to win, and I think it'll be kind of particularly close. So I'll take the Titans plus 5.5. That's where it stands right now. But I think the Bills will win the game ultimately. And that wraps it for Week 6. Those are my predictions. Those are my Week 6 NFL picks. Like I said, I'll try to do another episode on Monday before my halftime season gets started. Wednesday, we open up in Charlotte, so I cannot wait to get rocking again and be in front of full houses in NBA arenas. So fun week coming up for me. I'm going to enjoy this Sunday. Enjoy watching football all day on the couch, maybe eat a donut or two, and then get ready for some halftime shows. Charlotte on Wednesday, Denver on Friday, and then a couple more next week. So can't wait for that. You guys, please subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do anything different or what you think I'm doing pretty good that you enjoy. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys hopefully on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy NFL Sunday. Jump shot, Jesus.